Welcome back, Maths Legends. Today we're going to be looking nets of pyramids and prisms. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to look at constructing tetrahedrons and making a connection between three-dimensional objects and their nets, including that. Especially we're going to be focusing on pyramids and prisms. When we start to observe three-dimensional shapes, gents, it's really important that we need to look at the faces. Now, the faces are the two-dimensional shapes that make up the three-dimensional shapes. So that's the surface area that you can see on the outside. So in this cube here that we have, you can see that it is made up of a whole lot of squares. How many squares? 6 squares. Now, if we're looking at this really easily, it's about unfolding the three-dimensional shape. So you could see on this shape here that if we put our base down, and you can see it's made up of a base here that is square and a base here square, we're going to pull this base down to here, that one down to there, this one over here at the back, over the back, and then we're left with 1, 2 on the side. Those two will come down and join here, and you can see then that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. 1, 2, 3 squares there. And that would be our net. Now, a net means that when we unfold our box or unfold our three-dimensional shape, it's what the shape would look like if it was flat on the ground. It was a two-dimensional shape. Today, we're going to be looking at what the three-dimensional shape looks like and what the net looks like. In particular, what we're going to be looking at is pyramids and prisms. We're going to start off with pyramids. You can see here that we have the triangular pyramid, square pyramid, and the rectangular pyramid. Now, pyramids are always made out of a base, and then the sides are always made out of triangles. So depending on what the name of the shape is, so the first one is a triangular pyramid, so that means that the base would be a triangle, and then it's made up of triangular sides. Now, because a triangular pyramid is triangle as the base, it has 3 sides. That would mean that it would have 3 other triangles around it. So you can see that. Here is my base here. And it is the same as this base here. And you can see then that if I folded down the other 3 sides, which are all triangles, I'd have 1, 2, 3 around the outside. Same thing here with the square. I'll change my color. My base is a square, 4 sides on a square. Put my square down first and then put my triangles around it, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing with my pentagon. Pentagonal base, put your pentagon down first, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles that come off that pentagon. Really like doing pyramids, gents. Super easy when you do it that way. Prisms are a little bit different, a little bit more difficult. We look at the base and we say, right, we have a triangular base. So normally a prism in general is made up of either squares and rectangles and 2 of the bases. Now, the amount of rectangles or squares it's made up of will depend on the amount of faces of your base. So if we have a look here at the first one, we know it's a triangle 3. You can see my 1, 2 bases, which are the parts that are lying on the ground. And then you can see that because I have 3 sides, I have 1, 2, 3 rectangles there that make up that triangular pyramid. In the second one, you can see that I have a square prism or a cube, which we just looked at. We have 1, 2 bases. They are both squares. 1, 2 bases that are both squares. A square has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one is our pentagonal prism. We have a pentagon as the base, 2 pentagon bases, 1, 2. Because the pentagon has 5 sides, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles or squares. Here's what you might also see. You might see a shape like so, and I ask you to draw them. If I was to draw this shape, and you need to remember, gents, that I don't have a ruler, the first thing that I start with, I look at a pyramid. So I'm going to draw to start off with my hexagon before I start. Now, if you're drawing this, gents, you need to make sure you are using a ruler. It has 6 sides. 6 sides means 6 triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see there that I have 6 triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To go with my hexagonal base, which is a hexagon. I want you to try this one, hexagonal prism. Now remember when we're doing prisms, gents, before you press stop and you have a go of it yourself, remember that it always has two bases, which are both hexagons, and through the middle we'll have the amount of faces. Now we know that a hexagon has 6 different sides, so we know the squares in the rectangle, there will be 6 squares or rectangles that will make up this shape. Have a go, gents. Stop the video here. I'll come back in a minute and show you how I drew it. Right, let's see how you went. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go draw in my hexagon. Draw in my hexagon. Now remember, if you're doing this at home, use a ruler. And then I know that I have to draw 6 different ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rectangles and my 2 hexagonal bases.